Well, good morning. Welcome to another YouTube Creator News. I got reminded, I looked across, I saw the delay, and it reminded me that's the name of the show. Every week, what is the name of the show? Hope everyone had a great week. We're rolling through mid-December. What is it today? The 13th of December. We're less than 2 weeks out from Christmas, so just putting that out there. Hope everyone has had a great week. We're going to dive into the some YouTube related news, features, etc. today, as we always do, and also we like to just open it up to everybody who is in the chat live. To if you have a question for me, you can drop it in the chat, put a Q in front of it so I know it's a question for me. It could be a question about YouTube, it could be a question about any of the things we're talking about in today's show, any of the news, any of the features. Can be just a general creator question, all of the above. So let's jump in, as we always like to do, and say g'day to a few of the people. Well, everybody in the chat has made themselves known, because, you know, there's always lurkers. And let's get that, the background music courtesy of Creator Mix. Well, let's get that rolling there too as well. We've got a few names here already, so let's hit right in with the pre-show ones and the ones I was tagging madly as we were going live. First of all, Live Stream Consultants is here. Welcome to the stream. Monique is here as well. Was in nice and early, always dropping that early bird message. Doesn't always come up in my list, unfortunately. Depends on when I open it. American English from Brent is here. Welcome. Amazing Yacht Destinations as well. Home Rapid Repair, Larry, good to see you. Frankie is here, Frankie YT AV, all the above. And we also got the one only Andrew Can is in the house. Welcome to the stream, good to see you. We've got Bad Context is here as well. Welcome to the stream, good to see you. Cacophonous Cat is here as well. Welcome. Leon's Craft Room is here, good to see you as well. Trying to make sure I don't miss anybody as the chats open up. And Eileen Smith saying hello to all the beautiful people in the chat, and more people probably rolling in, which we'll give them a shout out as soon as they're in. I haven't seen Chantel yet. I don't know what her status is at the moment. I know she's cancelled all her streams last week. She's been unwell. So thoughts and prayers going out to Chantel again if she's still not 100%. I really haven't heard. So yeah. Let's get cracking, and as people jump in, we'll of course trying to acknowledge them throughout the proceedings. Yeah, I think I've done all the usuals. I hope the weather and everything as well for you where you are. Status of the weather, it's been a regular warm summer days here. No storms, no weird stuff, no cyclones like we had in March. So no, it's all good. It's all good. Andrew says, I hope Chantel feels better soon. I also hope for the course too. The course, of course. Yeah, I'm just scanning the chat to make sure I haven't missed anybody. I don't think I have. Well, let's jump into it, and as always we like to play a little jingle before we get started with the news.
Stay tuned for Creator News.
All right, and Andrew's message disappears right on time, and I need to let's get rid of that QR code. Yeah, I'm sort of every week I'm sort of experimenting with the format here. This week on YouTube, aka YouTube News Flash, aka Tuesday Newsday. This week I only had 2 items, but I've filled out the whole page with details on this. So we'll hit these because these don't show up in any of the other things that we're doing today. So we'll hit these real quick and then we'll move on. The YouTube Create app has an update. Well, they say Android, but don't forget it is now on iOS in Canada and Australia, which I'm happy about. So that And some of these updates is some of the stuff we even mentioned in last week's show, and sort of showed you. So the app is receiving an update with a custom version of Google's VO3 fast model, and that's generative AI for making like short images and short little fun video clips to add to your shorts. But in the Create app, you can not only make shorts, but you can also make long form content. But a lot of the generative AI stuff is still shorts related. They do it vertically, all that stuff. This generative AI update allows for creators to generate images and videos with sounds strictly from text prompts. Because we know with VO3, they're adding like sound effects and even vocals. If you watched one of the shorts that I posted this week with the guy tapping madly on the keyboard because he's trying to comment, and it was to do with the new comment setting that we talked about in last week's show. There's a bit there, and he's actually verbally angry and saying some words, and part of that short that's actually showing up where I sort of use that as the loop point to loop it back around. So some of the bits I had silent, but some of the bits I also closed the short with. That was done using VO3, in Gemini, not using this particular tool, but it sort of gives you an idea of what VO3 is capable of. This feature is currently rolling out to Android devices where YouTube Create app is available. And I might mention that I'm pretty sure that's on the iOS versions in Canada and Australia as well. The other thing that they did talk about this week was YouTube shopping data and analytics. They're giving some new seller level breakdowns of shopping performance data. So it's more like YouTube analytics for your YouTube affiliate programs. That's pretty cool. You know, breaking it down a little bit more. We know Amazon breaks theirs down to a certain extent as well. This is accessed via advanced mode by selecting seller under the breakdown options. New visible metrics include total sales, orders, return products. So to give you that summary, a lot like what you might get on like Amazon when it's showing you like your month to date or your week to date, or however you like to look at your analytics or your reporting over there on that. So a very short show this week on for the YouTube news, but there was a bunch of videos. Oh, I gotta click through the new way. Here we go. There were a bunch of videos. There were 2 sneak peeks on the Creator Insider channel, and there was 2 sort of tutorial demonstrations on the YouTube Creators channel. So with the new rollout, the expanded rollout of the A/B testing for titles and thumbnails, they did a whole walkthrough on that. Very informative videos, so make sure you go check that out on the YouTube Creators channel. The same for the likeness detection. Like I've got a video that I'm got in my queue to do on likeness detection, and they've already put their tutorial out. So this is from YouTube, how it works. The sneak peek side on the Creator Insider channel, the inspiration tab was on earlier in the week with the new updates. I know Andrew talked about inspiration tab on his stream this week. There's a lot of new features and a lot of new functionality. So to know more about that, definitely go watch that video. And also brand partner video access. This is something that is to do with Brand Connect and linking brands to shorts and different things like that. So it's a brand integration, so they can see your analytics and stats for the branded video and other things like that. So there's like a enabling or linking for the brands to get that additional information, often stuff that they're interested in getting that you would previously have to have manually figured out and provided to them after the the promotion that you might have done for them, whatever. They get access to those real-time stats from the back end of your channel, just seeing the stats for the promotion or the video or the videos or the shorts in question. So a lot of videos going on this week. Now I was going to break them all down, but you could do a video on just about each one of these. So I'm not going to do it in the live stream, but I just wanted to let you know there was a lot of content on some of these new features and some of the upcoming features in the case of the sneak peeks. And I'm sure we'll be with the sneak peek ones. There might be more information coming down the road. Obviously more features. They're going to make inspiration tab do a lot more things. There's going to be a lot more options for brands and you to interact directly on the platform. Let me just jump in and see who we got real quick. Here it is. Dang's here. Dangfish at Dang. Always like to say that. So greetings. Is there anything else I need? Andrew says, I've used a brand partner connect. Main issues, brands have no clue how to use it yet, and it's a lot of teaching. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Because if creators sort of aren't really familiar with the product and the new features, then it's going to be very difficult for brands to sort of find out about that. I know they have their own like brand sessions with YouTube, but it's not every brand gets the opportunity to be in on those, which is sort of like the live streaming online event that they had in the past week. I didn't know about it until it was already over. Eileen Smith here in the chat, one of my mods as well, asked me, said, hey, are you watching? I'm like, I didn't even know it was a thing. And she kindly shared a link with me so I can check it out. There's some awesome sessions on there over 2 days that I'm going to be digging into, all about YouTube live streaming. It's like, yeah, we need to know that stuff. Anybody else new come in that I need to highlight? Andrew, Brent says, I was going to say Andrew, but that's American, not Andrew. I got a subscription to Gemini. Yeah, I have Gemini as well. I was like at a point a few months ago, I was like, Gemini, ChatGPT, which one will I actually pay for? And the thing that got me at the time, because ChatGPT is very good, Gemini was pretty solid at the time, but what got me was like the additional sort of Google stuff that they give you, like I think it's 2 terabytes of storage on the one I got, different things like that, and the additional stuff that all comes part of the monthly subscription. So, and then like I sign up, and within that next month, VO3 update, and Nano Banana, and then Nano Banana Pro, and everything's coming out, and it's like going gangbusters. And so I've been very happy with my choice. All right, I've got to remember that I got to press the right buttons to progress through the slides. I think we didn't have like a Creator Insider video this week. Was quite short. There's no real sort of overviews posted by most of the usual people. Apart from there was mine. So I thought I'd grab this recap from Neil Mohan from earlier this week. Just as he likes to remind people of some of the new features rolling out, and it's great that he's taking that initiative as well. He's got staff to do that, but he does it himself as well. One thing we're going to be talking about shortly: respond to comments with a 30-second voice reply. Voice replies, big deal this week, big announcement this week. We're going to touch on that in a minute. Get a series of ideas from Inspiration tab. We sort of mentioned Inspiration tab already. We've got more stuff coming. I'm sure we'll be talking about that a lot. I'm sure there's going to be some dedicated videos on that, walking through some of the things you can do. What did I just do then? I don't know what I just did. I didn't know I could zoom in and out like that. Okay, that's dangerous. The next one here is watch shorts and live streams in landscape mode. I think that might be a TV feature. I don't have the context for that one. And finally, up on the next one, create images and videos with sound, a YouTube Create app that using the custom version of VO3, which was in our original announcement that we talked about. Updates to the Create app, always good to see. Let's dive into something that they're sort of reminding people, because this is on the rollout at the moment, and I know we talked about it. I got this last week, and so I mentioned on last week's show. But the dual streaming update for YouTube is now rolling out to a lot more people, pushing out to a massive amount of channels, according to Big E here. Make sure when you do your next stream, set up a dual stream. He says, I did not today because as the issue with dual streaming for me, because I'm using Ecamm right now, is that it takes the dead center of the horizontal. But I'm here for half the show. I'm here offset to the left, so I can't. So people will only be seeing whatever happens to be right in the center. They'd see Big E's quote here, but they wouldn't see much else for this portion of the show. At least. So so that is out there. YouTube creators did post in their own community post about it this week, saying we're launching the ability to stream across formats. So obviously you can set up a stream to be vertical and horizontal, so that what happens is you just stream from your encoder the horizontal, and it will take the dead middle frame and put that as a vertical live stream and send it to the vertical feed. But the chats will be integrated, which is the crucial thing of what's so good about this, is you won't have two separate chats for your mods to sort of look after. Everything will be unified in the YouTube chat, which is really good. But they do have things coming, like there's going to be more encoder integrations so that you can do all this on the encoders. So there's already encoders out there to do that, like Meld, for example. There's also plugins for OBS to do that. It is highly rumored, and it's not really a rumor because it has been talked about by a few people, that Ecamm are soon putting out their beta update, where I'll be able to do a horizontal and vertical stream at the same time and be able to customize both canvases. That hasn't been officially announced yet, but it was leaked on the show last week, and Paul Dixon mentioned it in the show. It was supposed to already be launched, but there must be a delay on it for some reason. Maybe they're working on this special integration with YouTube. I really don't know. So it's interesting. But they will also be able to, into early next year sometime, allow you to pick what frame you want for that vertical. Do you want it to show the entire screen but shrink it down? Do you want it go to the left, to the right, or some other type of frame? And they'll probably give you some stock standard ones that you can actually choose, so you're not stuck with that middle framing for the vertical. So you can frame to the left, the right, squish down your horizontal to fit, and then have maybe some blank space. I've seen that on one of the channels was experimenting. They actually had that option, and I thought, well, that would be better. I'd prefer that over the vertical middle part of my stream, just because of the way mine's laid out. So yeah, more to come on that, and more features, more integrations that will work with it to make it a better tool. If they just released it as is and left it at that, then I'd be sort of disappointed, but I know that there's more coming. So it should be pretty good. I'll just scan in the chat. Yeah, I can see some talk about voice replies. We're going to be talking about that in a minute. Now, here's an interesting one. Now, Andrew in the chat here will he made a video on this a couple of years ago, and I think I put it in a tips video that was like 5 things or 7 things or something. One of those listicle number videos that I very rarely do, but I did that one, and one of the ones was how to add corrections to your videos. Now, Renee this week, not only did he post here's how to add corrections to your videos that are already live on YouTube, he actually did like a whole blog post, which is interesting, which, I should have had this already. And let me go to the screen share. Where is the blog post? Make sure I got it on the right page. This one. How to add corrections to YouTube videos. So he went and did in the YouTube official blog, not just like one of the help center articles, but this is a full-on blog post with instructions on how to do this. So I think this is pretty good. So if you want a video on this, I'm pretty sure Andrew has one on his channel, if I recall. And I know I do have it as a tip in one of my videos, which is around the same time. It was like a year or two back. Now this next part is going to be interesting. Matt Navarro, who does posts on all social media, he like talks about all the tools and social medias and updates and things. Now he didn't know this was a thing. Has been a thing for many years. This correction feature has been on YouTube for at least probably 3 years, maybe 4 years. He comes out and says YouTube adds corrections features, so you don't need to re-upload. It's not a new thing, Matt. It's not new. We've been talking about this for a couple of years. So he sort of spruiks it and links also to the blog post. I couldn't help myself, but earlier today I jumped in because that was posted in the last 24 hours. I jumped in and said, this has been a feature for like 3 or 4 years now. Sorry. So I got that was my chuckle for today. That gave me a good old chuckle. Andrew confirms he does have video on this. That's good to know. I wasn't mistaken. Yes. Absolutely. I couldn't believe it. That at that point, when you made that video and we were talking about it back then, that it had already been out for at least a year before that. And like nobody knew about it. It snuck out. Larry's got a question here. What if with dual live streams, YouTube allowed the vertical viewer to swipe left or right to watch any part of the wider format? Yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah. Sort of an interactive vertical. That's a cool idea. You know, you should pitch that one to YouTube. I like it. You know what? My background music stopped and I don't know why. Explain the spiky video. That happens to me too. Sometimes when there's an update on something or there's like attention brought to a feature that I did a video on maybe early this year, then I'll get spikes. I'll get spikes in like, one I get spike in a lot is auto dubbing, and some of the other sort of more recent features or features that, you know, could have some controversy, they tend to keep coming. They tend to tick along, and then you get the unhappy people. I hate this feature. I hate it. YouTube need to remove it. YouTube need to do this. YouTube needs to do that. It's like, yeah, sorry, YouTube ain't changing it for you. So there's some interesting things there. So I want to make sure I don't miss anything in the chat, so I'll just have a quick scan before we continue. Brent says, I'd like to find an alternative to StreamYard. My annual subscription is coming up. Yeah, I know Chantel definitely keeps a hand on the pulse of some of those like StreamYard-like ones a little bit more. The one that she was really liking was the Streamlabs Talk Studio. We thought that was quite good value. Does similar things. Obviously, there's a lot of crossover features. Does all the common things like bring up comments and different things, having multiple people join your live streams and stuff, different ones like that. For the life of me, I cannot remember the names of some of the other ones we've been looking into, but it's Talk Studio is the one that Chantel ended up going with. So that's Streamlabs Talk Studio. It used to be called Melon back in the day when it first launched, but then they changed the name. So that could be interesting. But yeah, Chantel will remember more of them than me. It's just they're just escaping my mind because I haven't looked at sort of the alternatives for streaming like recently on my mind, because I'm always using Ecamm. You know, of course, Meld and OBS are always on my radar. Particularly Meld is new, but is doing big things from the desktop perspective, like an app, whether you've got a Mac or a PC. I think they've even got a Linux version. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Thank you. Riverside, One Stream, Restream. Yeah, they're all good ones. Yeah, Riverside. Riverside's interesting. Riverside's an all-in-one. Riverside's like, it's like your StreamYard, your Zoom, your your professional recording, like a Descript, all in sort of one tool. It's like a Descript and a StreamYard and a Zoom. For professional, not like Zoom for let's just have some meetings, although you could probably do that. But for professional, where it's recording, but it does the whole StreamYard thing where you can do the local recording and get like the high quality recordings coming in so that you can like put it all together, like if you're doing a podcast or something. So Riverside's very good for that. So he also mentions OneStream, Restream, and then there's a bunch of others. There are others that are eluding me. All right, let's talk about these voice replies. I know we already talked about it in the chat. YouTube is expanding voice replies experiment to even more creators in both the main and studio apps. So that's in both places. You can now do it in studio and main, the main app. I believe they've been testing it in the main app for a while, but now it's expanding out. Like I have it in both apps. So I'm in that still, even though it's still in the experiment stage, it's hitting a lot of people have it. Not everybody has it. YouTube creators themselves said, we're expanding voice replies to more creators can now record short voice message when replying to comments. And also Jonah said that YouTube is rolling out voice replies, and that is true. And I have tested it to a certain extent. I have a quick play. Now Nick Nimmin did a video on it, and he said that every person who comments, I will voice reply. I'm like, all right. And so, yeah, I got a voice reply from Nick Nemman. I think the good thing about it is that it's only the creators that can leave the voice. So we're not getting like people coming back and forth and harassing people. You also get, it turns it into a transcript. So you can still read like a text version of the voice reply. There's a little like transcript button underneath on mobile. Unfortunate thing is they don't show up on desktop. They just say this is a voice reply. Doesn't work on desktop. But they don't. What they really need to do, if it doesn't work on desktop, and you've got that placeholder there for the comment, put the transcript in there. If you can't put the voice recording there, so hopefully they do that. I know we're still in experiment stage. They will be sort of tweaking it and making it better. So I think this is a pretty cool feature, and a lot of people are pumped. I did see a comment. I think it wasn't that long ago, like probably in the last couple of hours. that popped in on Nick's video. Said, why would I want to do a voice reply? Like some people don't even, not even on their radar. So hey, and it's not for everyone, no, but you don't have to use it. It's like any feature on YouTube, you don't have to use it, but it's there if you want to use it. Some things we highly recommend getting used. Some things it's like, well, does it suit the type of content you do? Does it make sense? I think voice replies is something that I think a lot of people can take advantage of when it comes to engaging with their viewers, their community, all that good stuff. People think when people feel that they've been seen and heard and get that personal reply, it's like a next level reply. The fact that not everybody even replies to comments in 2025 is sort of amazing that they don't. I can understand why bigger channels, maybe with the sheer volume, it's difficult for them to do it. But I think making an effort is at least something we can do. I try and reply to every one of my comments. Having voice replies can actually save you time. If you're doing a lot of comments on your phone, you can just record that message and it's done. You don't have to like sit there and type. Typing on a phone is pain. To be truthful, it's a pain. I don't want to do it. So this is a great alternative, and my friend Brian G. Johnson's going to love it because I know he does a lot of that on Facebook. He'll do voice reply rather than type a message because it's like, man, this is going to take too long. Let's have a look. Larry says, I didn't even know there was voice replies till Mr. Nimmon's video from yesterday. Absolutely. Absolutely. I know it's come up like, oh, they're experimenting with it and not really finding it in the wild. It was being, it was fairly closed, but this week they've opened it up. A lot more people have it now. I love it. Wonder why you can't. Yeah, I think it might very well be coming. I think you're right on that. I got monies to wager on who gets themselves cancelled first with that voice reply feature. Yeah, keep in mind. So that's probably the number one thing to keep in mind from like a warning perspective is like leaving a voice reply to the person who commented. That is still considered content. Just like typing a comment or making a post is still counted as content. So it all has to abide, I should say, by YouTube's community guidelines. So it's something to keep in mind. You can also, YouTube also does a transcript of it. So I guess the same moderation as comments. Yes, that makes sense. I would agree. I tend to agree with that. I'm interested to see what happens. Will YouTube censor inappropriate response? I guess they would. I guess they would. Now, if the creator's leaving an inappropriate response, that's like a little concerning. But in the heat of the moment, I guess that's the thing with voice replies. It's the heat of the. If you hit record immediately after getting annoyed by a comment, you could come back with a quite a snarky reply. At least when you type out a response, you have a little bit of time to think about it, even if you're banging your keyboard crazily. And I think the fact that people can't voice reply back to the creator, I think that's a good because that could turn into like harassment. Everybody could go to somebody's comment section and just start leaving obscene voice replies, and I don't think that would be a good thing. I think that'd be a bad thing. All right, let's move on. And one of the final things, I've got a couple of others that are in web format, so we're going to touch on those. But this week, Time Magazine crowned Neil Mohan, the CEO of YouTube, as CEO of the year. Like out of all the companies that they could have, they could have talked about. Whoever it is that runs NVIDIA, which is the biggest, most valuable company in the world, could have gone with him or her. I'm not sure who's heading up NVIDIA these days. I don't know if Tim Cook's doing much of Apple these days, or at least in the last year to be CEO of the year worthy. But you've always got your Sam Altmans and your Elon Musks and other people in different sectors, of course, not just tech. But Neil Mohan, Time has made YouTube CEO Neil Mohan the 2025 CEO of the year, citing major industry impact. Because YouTube is making impact in various sectors, particularly in like television, and the big screen experience, not just the mobile experience or the desktop experience. There's a lot more buy-in now from not only music executives and music companies, big and small. All the dealing with companies like Disney and ABC, NBC, and ESPN, and all those, Fox and everybody else, to get like their TV content, at least in the US, as part of the YouTube TV package. There's a lot going on there. I'm probably not even touching on the important ones on that. But big props to Neil. I think he's doing a good job as CEO of YouTube. That's just my opinion. Other people like to target the CEO when they don't get the features they want, or the features don't work the way they want them. But I think Neil's done a great job. And he's very interactive with creators. That's pretty huge too. All right, I'm going to jump back to this shot here real quick. There is a couple of more things I'm going to probably touch on website wise. I'm not going to say any more about the CEO of the year. I'm just closing some tabs here. There's a couple of like experiments going on that didn't make it into all my notes, but I found out about them as I was like setting up the stream basically. So like even in the last week, there's a couple of things to talk about. So I'm going to go to the screen share for that real quick. And then we'll open up a bit more of a Q&A once we do that. I'm just scrolling down to, didn't quite have the scroll. Okay, this is something I didn't know about, and this showed up 4 days ago in the sort of this is like the list of experiments on YouTube. This one is interesting. Test new create mode. We're experimenting with a new experience under the create mode, which will showcase content creation tools, including experimental AI generated features to create images, video clips, green screen backgrounds, music tracks, and more. If you are in the experiment, because this is all experiments, the plus icon on the YouTube mobile app may open directly to the create mode, or you may swipe into create mode from short to create. Our goal with this experiment is to gather feedback and test new ways to effortlessly create shorts and inspire users. If you see it, check it out and share your feedback. Now, I had a look. I don't have it. I don't think too many people will, because that's a very sort of interesting one. So basically, to look for it, I'm going to open up my YouTube app. Hang on, let's do that. Let's jump across to the iPhone. So if I'm on my YouTube app and see that Nick Nemman's scheduled his live stream, if you go down to the plus button at the bottom, the plus icon, it's going to show up in here where shorts, live, posts, and video are. It's going to show up in that list, or go directly to create if you happen to be in the experiment. So that's what that's all about. Let's get out of that. We'll go back to the screen share. Now there's one other thing which sort of goes back and covers what we're talking about with voice replies. They've got a fairly detailed piece of information here that was posted 2 days ago. Obviously, they rolled this out. Nick jumped on it, made his video this week, testing voice replies to comments via the YouTube Studio mobile app. We recently expanded our voice replies to comments experiment to the YouTube Studio app, because previously it was only available in the main app, which we mentioned before. Now we're expanding access to even more creators. So not only is it in both apps, it's more creators, which is why now I have it, Nick has it, there's a bunch of you have it. Not everybody has it, but if you're part of the experiment and want to reply to a comment via voice, you can do so by going into Studio app, going to community, find a comment. So this is great because this is like where you manage your comments rather than having to go under a video, which is what you had to do in the main app. So doing it like in a community where the comments that are recent that you need to reply to or heart or delete or moderate, whatever you got to do to them, they're all there in like a queue. So you can just go through them. You can hit them, and if you want, leave a voice reply instead of a text reply. And as it says there, the main YouTube app, you have to go in and go to one of your videos and go down to the comments section and find a comment that you want to voice reply to. Now, the maximum duration of voice reply is 30 seconds, if I haven't mentioned that earlier. Though the ability to post voice replies is limited to the experiment group, all YouTube users can engage with these comments. So remember, when you are leaving a voicemail, it's not a personal private message to the person who commented. Anybody can come along and listen to those. So you can listen to how that creator has replied to other people, which is pretty cool, because, if that answer could be helpful for one person, it could be helpful to other people as well. Just like replying to a comment with text, everybody can read it. So keep in mind that if you do have the feature and you do use it, that anybody who comes to that video, finds that comment, will be able to listen to the comment response. All right, let's jump back now. Yeah. Let's hit the chat, see what we got going on in the chat. And if you've got a question for me, drop it in chat. You can put a Q in front of it. Makes it a little quicker for me to find. Otherwise, I'm just going to jump on and just tap on some comments here right now. Where are we up to? Of all the business Google owns, YouTube is currently the crown jewel. I would say so. Yeah, Google's doing a pretty solid job. I think their Gemini area of the AI is doing well. You know, Chrome is still solid. I know things are changing in the browser space because of AI, but you know, it's definitely not dead. I believe it doesn't mean that you love him or hate him. The CEO has made the most difference over the past year. Yeah, Time Magazine, it's their editorial staff, I believe, or some panel that they have vote and choose like the different of the years. Obviously, they're going to have like the overall person of the year, which could be from any sort of field. You know, this was a very specific field, CEOs of large companies, basically. Yeah. It's not the viewers that vote on that, I don't think. Not that I'm aware of. I'm pretty sure it's all voted by panel. So it's like it's Time Magazine's opinion. I can see voice replies getting used a lot. Yeah, absolutely. I think so. Ollie Smith has it in the studio app. Win-win. I think that's a good place to have it. Did I hit the like button on my own stream? That's a good question. Let me have a look, because that's an important thing. I often forget to do stuff like that on my own stream. Actually, can I do that? You know what? For me to hit the like button on my own stream, I have to actually go to the watch page. Can't do it from the live stream dashboard. Like I can do stuff in the chat. I can comment and look at super chat stuff and do polls and Q&As and even set up a members only live stream right here. But yeah, I should do it when I like set it up, go to my homepage, because like when I'm in the middle of streaming, you just don't, you don't think about it, you don't have time to do all that stuff. Yeah, got any questions for me? Now's the time to drop them in. Now's the time to drop them in. I'll be interested in what people think about some of the more recent things they're rolling out, maybe likeness tool or inspiration tab, or the expanded A/B testing with titles and thumbnails. If out of any of those, what would be a good like thing to do, make a video about, whether it's a tutorial or discussing issues like for likeness? I think the biggest concern people will have is the setup process and giving your personal details, which you need to do to verify that that's your likeness. You know what I mean? It's not like I can't see that they can't do it without that. But people still have concerns. People still have concerns. So, what do you do? So we can talk about those aspects. There's a whole bunch of things. It's like, how do I narrow down maybe what people are really interested in? Because it's a bit like when you like figuring out, products and services to maybe offer your viewers, your subscribers, different things like that. Maybe, like Larry, you cover things like, home repair and different things. And so there's like, maybe you can make guides and things or whatever. It's like, how do you know what people actually really need or want, as opposed to making it and then nobody, there's no takers. That can go with videos as well. It's like I can make a video, but nobody's really interested in the topic, because really it's my topic selection that might suck in that case. And obviously sometimes if you do a lot of topics, some are going to hit and some are going to miss, and then you can learn from that as well. You've got analytics to learn from, some insights from places like the trends tab and the inspiration tab and different things like that, and all the third-party tools that are out there, like Tube Spanners and your Tube Buddies and your vidIQs and your 1 of 10s, and whatever that one is that Mr. Beast has. Is it ViewStats? Is his ViewStats? I'm getting confused. And then there's the one that's getting discontinued. I can't remember what that's called. Spotter Studio. That's discontinued. They're doing something else now. They're still doing Spotter Studio is still a thing, but they're not doing their tool. They closed their tool down. And that was probably the most marketed of all the tools in recent years, at least like going to places like Vid Summit, you know, I remember a year or two back, all you heard about was Spotter Studio, Spotter Studio, Spotter Studio. Now it's not a thing. So, but I have something important to share with people.
YouTube Newsflash.
That's not the one. I wonder why that button was blue, because it's the wrong button.
Someone just bought Doug a coffee.
A big shout out to Larry for buying 3 coffees. Free cuppers, free coffees. Thank you. Doug brings YouTube updates into 2026. Absolutely. That's the plan. Continue covering the updates and touching on the things and sharing them and getting them out there. I'm sharing a lot more now, sort of midweek, with just dropping like a YouTube, something YouTube as a YouTube post or on X or on Threads, Facebook, Reddit. Where else do I do it? I even put some stuff down. I'm starting to do some stuff on my website, in the blog section of my website, and on Buy Me a Coffee, where there's also a place where you can do like posts. So there's a whole bunch of places where I'm putting out that like weekly information. Usually the thing that you can expect is if they're dropping like updates, particularly like Trader Insider with the weekly news flash, usually that's enough newsworthy to have its own dedicated post. I don't want to go too heavy, because like this week I could have done a post on every one of those videos that I showed you earlier. That could have like overwhelmed people. So it's like trying to find that balance. You know what I mean? Larry says that YouTube Ask Studio helps AI helps me know to look at the past best performing topics for next videos. Yeah, that's a big thing. I'm interested to dial in on that once they roll that out this part of the world, because I would expect that's going to be something that's going to be pretty good. I'm pressing some buttons here right now. Doing the important button pressing. I feel like something's broken in one of my chats. I don't know why. I don't know which chat it is. I'm comparing. That's weird. Anyway. Larry's dropping the emojis there for me. Cup of coffee. What is that? One of those. I've never seen that one before. He's pouring that coffee in like it's no tomorrow. At Stavit. Hi, and thanks for all the helpful posts and shorts. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I've been sort of like dropping sort of. I was going to say the word strategic, but it's not really strategic. It's like, this is something like, if it's something that's like quick, like something on mobile that people need to know how to do, that sometimes I'm dropping shorts on that. Sometimes it's informational. Sometimes it is like the news or something new that YouTube put out or something like that. Sometimes I'm doing shorts on that as well. So I'm dropping those here and there. But I'm planning into early 2026 is you're probably around maybe sometime in February, you're going to see this set change again. This will change. It'll be something maybe akin to what I used to have. So it'll be a little bit more depth, a little bit more, lights and sets and props and stuff. So expect to see that, something like that, sort of maybe into February. And I'm hoping because of that and everything else that I'll be able to put out more regular long form content. Obviously, live stream, it happens. I'm keeping that. That's my most what's the word I'm looking for? I've gone blank. Consistent is the word I'm looking for. My more consistent. Yes, 88 miles per hour. I think I need some more plutonium in my drink. Because you need it to generate that 1.21 gigawatts of electricity. Lee's Boring Life is here. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully it's not too boring. Hey, I just noticed the panel is back. Yeah, I did put it back up. I think I did it before last week's stream. Did I put it? It was sometime in the last week. I did put it back up. I got I just got some regular tape and then looped it over because I couldn't find my double-sided tape. And then I just hopefully it stays for a little bit. Stick it up there. Hopefully it stays. So we'll see how that goes. So yeah, I'm interested. I'll be interested in if there's particular topics that you think I should be covering. You know, I've sort of set up rough pillars when it comes to like buckets of topics to talk about, and then obviously the YouTube news and features is sort of one of those main ones. And then talking about live streaming stuff, haven't done a lot of that of late. Also, one of the other pillars is channel moderation or live stream moderation, which I haven't done a lot of content on either of late, but I think I need to revisit some of my greatest hits, if you know what I mean. So I do have a couple of buckets. There are a couple of others that are not coming to mind right now. So, but they're like the main three, and just general stuff. I like jump on to show people stuff that they maybe didn't know they could do, or something that's new. Here's a tutorial on how to do this thing, like setting up the likeness tool, something like that, as a recent example. So it'd be interesting. Now I need to press buttons here.
Thank you for gifting the memberships.
Ollie Smith has just dropped a channel gifted membership, and it looks like that went to Stavit. There it is there. Received the gift membership. Congratulations. And already a thank you in the chat. Wonderful. Love to see it. Love to see it. So yeah, what that does, that opens up to all the perks, which with members only live streams on occasion. The intent was to do it once a month, but we don't tend to hit the once a month. But yes, channel members, you get, when I do upload a video, I tend to always make them available to members early before they go live to the public, so they come out a little bit earlier. There's some other things that if you go and look in the membership section, that's eluding my mind. My brain is not remembering all the things. Question, Home Rapid Repair. Larry says, what is it I can only pick the short thumbnail during upload but can never change it? Can't change it. Can't change it after, you've set it the first time, you go back and change it to a different frame? Should be able to. That's interesting. Interesting. Let's have a look at that. Let's do that. Let's do the tutorial. Let's do it all together. Okay, so first I need to go to my channel and find a short. It can be just a recent short. It doesn't really matter. So let's just go to shorts. Let's pick one that's live. Let's pick this one. Oh, you can't. Yeah. Can I edit? Yeah, I can edit. Okay, I went to edit. Normally I don't. I'm like, how do I get to the edit section? I don't normally go into shorts that way. Okay, so at the top you got the little. You should have that little pencil, and you should be able to tap on that and reselect the frame. So I should be able to then. That's the frame I went with. So I can pick a different frame. Most of that video is nearly the same frame. It's just me talking. Desktop update. Although The interesting thing is, yeah, it's not a lot different. And then you can obviously go in and I don't even know what's this video about again. I don't even know what this short's about. The type of. I usually add when I've got something general like that on there. I generally add some text when I'm making the new thumbnail for it. And I don't know what that's called, so I'm just going to back out. But yeah, should be able to select that. I'm just going to X out that. Oh, YouTube desktop update. That's what I had. YouTube just changed something major for viewers. So then I can just pick a different frame. I could just pick that frame. It's already got the text in it. So I could just do that and select that. There we go. And then if I hit save. Oh, maybe this is the problem you're having. The save doesn't work. Oh no, here it is. There it goes. I thought that might have been what the issue was. The save didn't work, but then it did. Okay, I'm going to get out of that because it's playing. That's interesting. That was interesting. All right, what have we got? What do we got going on here? Stav says, I'm going to say Stav for sure. You know, in past few weeks, I've been trying out the promote option in YouTube. Small amounts, I tested view growth versus audience growth. Got to say, audience growth does bring subs. That's interesting. So did you get to try the promote option? You know what? I've looked at it. I haven't actually dropped money on it, on the promote. I probably wouldn't want to do that on my main channel. I probably want to do that on like a test channel. So it's not something that I've actually got around to sort of going in depth on and like actually dropping like a promotion, because they often tell you that you can do that, but really I think the better option for promotion is to actually, if you're like maybe dropping it on like a short or something, or a video that has where you're promoting like a product or a service that you yourself have made in particular. I probably wouldn't use it to uplift maybe a brand content, but to certainly uplift something where you're selling like maybe your merch, or selling something that's like something key that your audience would be like after, to bring awareness to that, to drive sales basically. I think that's a good, because then you're getting some return on the investment. Because I don't know whether spending money on getting more subscribers is a return on investment necessarily. Yeah, you could argue it in different ways on that. So yeah, so I have never really gone in to pull the trigger on that, because the advice I typically hear from people I sort of look to for advice on YouTube is don't use it just to get more views on your videos, if you know what I mean. But to your point, if you're targeting subscribers, I have heard a lot of people getting a decent amount of subscribers through a promotion like that, because I guess the call to action on that, when you set it up, it becomes subscribe. In studio, I can't change after upload like a horizontal video. In studio on desktop, you mean? Or studio on mobile? Can only change it from the main app, not studio. Oh, studio. That's studio. Gotcha. Let's jump in there real quick. I need to keep an eye on the time. 11:30. Okay, we're doing it right. We got 30 minutes. Oh, I don't have 30 minutes, but no. I just need to. Content. Okay, let's bring it back up. All right, let's go to that same video that I just had and just change it in the main app. So you can change. We know we can change it in the main app. Okay, so we want to hit the pencil up the top there, and then oh, interesting. Yeah, it's not there. It's not there. You are right. There's no pencil. I never knew that. You're right. They don't allow you to do it from studio. Only the main app. Yep. I gotcha. I exactly understand what you're saying. Yeah, I think that's like either on purpose. I don't think that's a bug. I think that's currently the use case for that, from what I can tell. Lee's Boring Life says, I got the OG ZVE10. Nice Sony kit with the kit lens, which does okay. I just suffered through the sticker shock and got a Sony 11mm f1.8 prime lens. Wow. Yeah, prime lens. 11mm though. That's wide, isn't it? Because I know, like, I've got like this camera here, although I can, like, I'm cropped in and stuff in Ecamm, but this camera here is like a Canon 22mm pancake lens. Like, it's very, very, very thin. Like, it's not a big deep lens, but it's like fixed, obviously 22mm. Obviously I got a crop sensor, so you know that affects things. I'm not a camera expert, so that's interesting. Yeah, we've discovered that. I actually didn't know that was not a thing. It's the same with our shopping tags. We can only change them in the main app. It is counterintuitive. I agree. And they currently don't notify us when our YouTube shopping tag is no longer valid. Oh. Yeah, that's no good. That's no good. All right. I think it's time to call it. I think it's time.
It's the last call.
It's the last call. So what that means is this is the last chance to ask a question, make a comment before we wrap things up and get ready to head on over to Nick Nimmin's live stream, the Nimminati. That's where it's all going to be. Join Nick and Dee for answering YouTube questions. They even take a look at a few channels along the way. It's the place to be on your Saturday morning, apart from being here. And as always, last call, y'all. So wonderful. So I'm expecting that maybe the last week or so, the last 2 weeks coming up to Christmas, this coming week and the following week, maybe a ramp down in YouTube news, but I could be wrong. I could be mistaken. But we will see. We'll see. And if you need anything in terms of answers to questions in that time, make sure we'll be here to do the Q&A every week. They're all coming in now. Look at all popping up on the screen. The soapbox and the mix. It's all that and more. One thing I was trying to get set up before the stream, like just to dabble with it, because you know how I like to dabble with live streaming features, is in Social Stream Ninja. You can connect it to like your if you've got like an LLM of choice, to be like a bot in the chat where you can ask it questions, but it will be like, you know, asking Gemini to do stuff for you or to answer questions or whatever, and you can give it like parameters and stuff. But I was just sort of working on trying to get that set up. I think I have to do something on the Google Gemini side. I have the API key set up and stuff, but I think I need to do a couple of things on the other side. I was troubleshooting that, didn't get it troubleshooted before we got there. Oh, everybody's going for the they're all getting dropped there. The Vid Summit, the hill to die on. I saw Creator Mix, Soapbox, all rolling in since last call. It's all good. Stav says, it was my first time in your live. It was fun. Yes, good to have you here. Welcome back every week. We're here at the same time every week. Yeah, pretty much. Speaking of which, we should bring this up. I didn't update this. This is the one from last week. Now, I'm going to say, first of all, I didn't update this, and I should have. And I did the artwork, and I just didn't load it in. Opus clip with Andrew Ken and Roberta Blake. I was on a break this week, and that's not happening. So ignore that. Niman Live, 9 a.m. Eastern. That is coming up in about 24 minutes' time. If you want to head on over there after the stream, you just have to hang in the chat. We've got a redirect in place, so you end up directly in Nick's pre-show chat. It's all good. Now, Chantel's not with us tonight, so I would expect she's likely not streaming. But, you know, if you have your alerts on, just be aware that you never know, she might pop up on Sunday night with her usual stream. I have not confirmed that with her. So, and of course, we're here every week at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. Same channel right here is when we're going to do it all again. Talk about the YouTube news, maybe some feature updates, whatever YouTube has in store for us. And we'll talk about it. We'll do all the things. All the mods. The mod ranch. Yeah. Probably at some point soon too, I'll be talking about I've been working on a tool for mods. So I don't know whether I'm going to make a video about it or maybe do a live demo on a live stream. So that's something that I might want to be thinking about. I don't know if I'm going to do it before the end of the year though. But I do have like a working prototype in the sense that it's working for the purposes of demonstration. It's not working for the purposes of rolling out to people to use. So it should be interesting. It's one for channels that have maybe a handful, not even too many moderators, but it's just, you know, several moderators where you need to coordinate things behind the scenes on a live stream. And so yeah, that's sort of the premise of the tool. So stay tuned. All right. That stuff sounds interesting. Yeah. It is definitely indeed, because these are things that sort of we as people who moderate for multiple channels, it's sort of like every channel that you sort of come along and mod for, they have slightly different rules for their chats. By and large, it's all fairly common, but it's up to the streamer of what they want to enforce, what they expect, what their expectations are. So that you sort of have to sort of come together and be all on the same page for every different channel you mod on, and so you're working with different groups of mods between channels and different things like that. So it's a tool that helps, sort of like Twitch has a dedicated mod chat. This is like a dedicated mod chat for, particularly for YouTube live streams, and so that you'll be able to communicate directly with the streamer. So the streamer has access and the moderators have access, and so there's like a backdoor chat, different things like that. A place to put all your moderation rules, so the mods can have like something to refer to if they need to like refresh themselves. Like, okay, on this channel, what's the rules? Like some people have rules around comments, caps in comments in live chat, and some don't care, and some think people are shouting, and how do you deal with that? How do you deal with what constitutes a timeout? What constitutes a ban from the channel? All those sorts of things. So a spot for that. Also, there's often common things that you need to post into chat, like copy and paste, like the link to a Q&A, or a link or a link to something that the streamer's offering, something like that. There's a spot where all those are listed, so you can just like copy paste and drop it straight in the chat. So those sorts of moderation features going in this tool. So I'm hoping to be able to do a demo on it probably in the next month. So yeah, it's something I've been working on behind the scenes. But anyway, I want to thank everyone for joining me today. Don't forget, Nick and Dee will be coming up in about 19 minutes from now. So once this stream's over, if you hang in the chat, you'll automatically end up in their live stream pre-show chat. and I'm looking forward to it. I'll be there. I'll be moderating on that stream, so I'm a mod. I won't have that tool to use yet, but I'll be there, doing the thing, doing all my stuff that I do behind the scenes on Nick's streams. So in the meantime, I will catch you next week, and I will also catch you later.